guys, it is Dylan here. Today I will be making a ticker symbol analysis on the psychology, the levels, the price action of the ticker symbol chart SM Energy. Before we get into the chart, I just want to let you know that I am bullish on the company. I do think it's a good company with more room to run. Okay, so right off the get-go, if I zoom out and you look at the volume, definitely serious volume within this range of this big long pull to this bullish flag that is playing out. So you do expect the volume to kind of die down a little bit in a bullish flag. What is a bullish flag, you might ask? Well, generally it's a bullish continuation pattern, right? And what you get from that generally is a bullish continuation. So you see more gains to the upside in most case scenarios, right? Not in all, but you see this is the bottom. I'm gonna mark it up a little easier just so you could see it a little better. So the red lines are the extensions, the trend lines to the flag, to the flag, right? And then you got this super long, vigorous uptrend that is just causing a buying frenzy. The buyers keep stepping in on the lows and pushing it even higher and higher and higher and higher. And then right from this point of $10, really just a buyer frenzy, completely parabolic movement, honestly, but you know. So from that range, I really do like that we haven't really just came crashing down, giving up serious gains. If I pull up a Fibonacci retracement, just of this just shows what the chart wants to give back. You do see that we did get a bounce at the 38.2% retracement. So, if we don't go any lower from these ranges, and this really was the bottom right here, that does show a lot of buying pressure that, the buyers are scooping up shares after a vigorous uptrend. So, I am waiting for a break on this red line right here, this descending resistance, which is I'm just going to move this red line out of the way just so you can see it better. This descending resistance is the flag resistance. So if we do break that and get a candle or two above it, and two candles closing, some people say three, some people say one, but we get a nice candle or two to close above it, you could see a very nice price rejection to easily, in my opinion, the 20s. I don't really want to put a specific number on it, but I think 20s is honestly on the least. I do like that we haven't really been giving up too much gains. Like I was just saying, this is the tight consolidation, tight degrade of price action. That's really what I like to see on my bullish flags. So you do see that on the MACD, we have been in a death cross. We've been in a death cross since the 18th of last month. So, roughly around 1, 2, 3, about 2 weeks trading time or so, right? And within those 2 weeks, you've seen the pressure of the selling kind of die down starting the first of this month. You see it just gradually decrease. It kind of gained a little bit right there, but in the grand scheme of things, it is decreasing. So if we see this get super small, right, and I'm just going to go to a prior example. You see that if it gets super small like that, so a little red bar, and then it converts to some green, that will be a golden cross, that will have the orange over the blue, and that will attract a lot of new buyers. I do know a lot of people that don't even get into stocks if there's not a golden cross, which honestly is a pretty smart confirmation, but typically I'm not that kind of guy. I like to base off price action more than indicators, but they do help. Alright, so 52.96, 52.92 in the RSI, sorry. So like I said again, we calmed down and we're still in that 50 to 70 range on the RSI, so it is right in the middle. It's not overbought, it's not oversold. I do like that. I would want to see the snap out though. Okay, so let's hop into the 1 hourly because you can probably get a lot of information here. Which you can. Right away I see a inverse head and shoulders, and if you don't know what an inverse head and shoulders is, basically it's a head and shoulders pattern, right? And that's just on its head. So generally a head and shoulders is a bad sign, it's a bearish pattern, but when it's to the opposite, it is quite the opposite, and that's what we saw right here on this inverse head and shoulders. So we just finished drawing that up. So you see one shoulder, one head, and then the other shoulder, and we had a nice rip, accordingly to that. There is this resistance right here that we do need to keep an eye on. You do see right here, I would say, at this 1930 level. It's 1930 level, whenever the price gets above that, we simply just reject. We got a little bit of a false break above it, but we seriously can't use that as support or nothing. So it is a pretty nasty resistance we got to keep an eye on. you do see, well, I see, I should say, a upwards. Oh, I did not mean to do a horizontal line right there. Trend line, there we go. So you see a upwards support into a resistance, right? And this is a ascending triangle. I don't need this resistance to be marked up, but this is me further explaining that, this is a big resistance too. This $18 mark, right? So that will be the breakout for this ascending triangle if we go to the upside, which generally this is a bullish pattern in theory, because you get lower lows, lower highs, lower lows into resistance. So that is bullish. But if we do break this tight, tight channel, this tight upwards trend, then we will see a drop accordingly. But if we break this resistance right here, then we will see the quite opposite. Okay, so do keep an eye on that. Do keep an eye on that. Right away, I think that, some people will say there's a price target of something like this, and they'll use the whole extension, and they'll say 1930, but I don't think that's really too wise, especially in a lower time frame. So what I like to do is, get roughly half, and that's mine. So I think 1860 is very attainable, and that does match up to this resistance. So, I'm not saying it'll die right there, but I do think that we can test up there if we do break this bullish pattern, right? And there's a lot of resistance around this range nonetheless, so that will be probably a smart place to take some profits off the table. Let's say I was trading this, right? Or you're just in it and you want to, because there's heavy resistance up there, but if we break above that, then then there's no resistance. So from that point, so then that will be interesting. That will be another story. So I do see a downwards. Drew that up wrong. My bad. A downwards resistance. My trend line's bugging out. All right, so right there, see a downwards resistance. Okay, and we've got checked by this once, twice, three, four times, and we just got rejected by that once again. But that is something to keep an eye on as well. But I don't want to overanalyze this chart. I do think that's basically everything you need to keep an eye on, in my opinion. If you look at just the 1 hour pointy things, you really see that this bull flag has been playing out nicely. This nice little consolidation phase, and from this point we've set a lower low. A higher low, higher high, a higher low. Sorry. Right, and another higher low. So this is a set of 3 higher lows. So this is the definition of an uptrend, a bullish, trend, whatever you want to say. So you see a set of 2 higher lows, higher highs right here. So higher highs and higher lows is the definition of an uptrend. It literally is stair stepping. So if we could set a higher high above this, 1907 mark, then I do think that we will continue that pattern on the grand scheme of things, but that might take a little bit to get to. But with that being said, guys, keep an eye on the indicators, the price action, the level, the psychology, and all that. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Take it easy.